Yeah. How are you doing, Ali Bird? How are you doing, Ali Bird? Yes, the Ali Bird catches the worm, they say. Welcome to the HamK Live series, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the HamK Live series this Sunday, like every Sunday, 7 p.m. East African time. This is what we do. It's our time of fresh music and inspiration to jumpstart your week in style. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button right away. Remember to like, remember to share, let everybody know this is going on. Tell your friends right now, HamK is live. Music, I need a lot now. Just tell your friends right now, HamK is live. Oh. So how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. I'm alright in here. I'm okay. I'm okay. To sing with them, Mama Nyabo. Welcome aboard the HamK Live series. I am ready to have a good time. I am ready to have a good time. Are you? Are you ready to have a good time with me? Are you ready? It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful Sunday today. I don't know what you are doing with yourself this weekend. Hey, you can talk to me a little bit. What are you doing this weekend? How are you spending the weekend? How are you spending your Sunday? How's everybody? How's it where you are? Where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from? I know lots of friends and you know, and fans and family and everybody joining from all over the world. And so I'd like to know where you're joining in from and how it is where you are. What's good? What's good? Share some good stuff with us, okay? Share some good news, some good reports of what is happening where you are. Okay, otherwise, welcome to the HamK Live series this Sunday, like every Sunday, 7 p.m. East African time. We're together for our time of fresh music and inspiration to jumpstart your week. You know how? In style, in style. That's right. Welcome, 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 welcome. Talk to me. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to tell everybody this is happening. And it's a beautiful day. Straight up, the show is started. And I just want to remind you from the get-go that we have the 7th annual Worship Ministers Summit coming up. Yep. Do you remember when? Well, if you've been following, you know that we have the Worship Ministers Summit the coming month, next month. We have the Worship Ministers Summit in October the 8th of October. We're having the 7th annual Worship Ministers Summit on the 8th of October. I just love to play with the numbers. I just love to play with the numbers. On the 8th of October, we will have the 7th annual Worship Ministers Summit happening, and it will be here in Kampala, Uganda. Makerere, to be specific, Makerere West or Makerere Chikoni. That's what that place is called. And we'll be at UCF Makerere Chikoni. UCF Makerere Chikoni, that's where we're going to be. That is the University Community Fellowship in Makerere Chikoni, which is Makerere West. Okay, so that's where we're going to be for the 7th annual Worship Ministers Summit on the 8th of October 2022. And it is going to be powerful. wonderful. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be beautiful. So be part of this great worship revival on that day. Registration is only 20K, and that will take care of your lunch as well. I don't want people fainting in my meeting. People may fall down and we think it's the anointing when they're actually dying of hunger, okay? Because we're going to be there from midday until 7, okay? So that's a whole long time for you to be attending a gathering and not having a meal. So we prepare something for you to eat, a proper meal for you to for us to fellowship together and eat together. In my culture, we say Oluganda kulya. Olugende njala terudda. And so, yes, I'm inviting you to make that contribution of 20,000. So we prepare the buffet and everything. So when you come, we have a good time, both physically and spiritually, okay? We don't want people starving all day long just because they came to attend the Worship Minister Summit. So it's going to be wonderful. It's always beautiful. The last 2 years, we were not able to come together, obviously, because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic that was, all over the place. But that has lifted. We give glory to God. It has gone back to wherever it is it came from. And we are thankful that we're going to be able to gather again after 2 years for a wonderful time of fellowship together, and music, and a lot of learning, and worshiping together, and impartation. And hey, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. If you have followed my worship ministry for the last several years, you know I'm on the cutting edge when it comes to the worship ministry. And so I want to share a little bit of that with the people that will come for the Worship Ministers Summit. Music! Music! And I must point out that the Worship Ministers Summit is not only for singers, okay? It's not only for singers. We are all worshipers, actually. If you're a believer in God, if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, you are called to be a worshiper by default. You may not be a worship leader, but you're called to be a worshiper. And so there is no harm in you coming for the Worship Ministers Summit, so that you have a good understanding of what worship is and what worship is about, why it is important for you to worship, why it is important to God that we worship, and what the right way to worship is, because worship is more than just singing, and why it is, that we dwell on it so much when we go to the churches, wherever you go to pray. Why is worship necessary at all? And then how can you better make the connection in the presence of God through worship? Because one thing I know for sure, God will be where the worship is. God will only be where the worship is. That is the dwelling of God. He will not be in a place where he's not worshipped. To put it another way, he will not be revealed where he is not revered. And the most outward sign, the most evident sign of reverence is worship. That's why in my culture we have a kabaka. That would be the equivalent of a king in other civilizations. In our civilization in Uganda, he is called kabaka. Okay? So when the kabaka shows up in a place, we other small common men have to bow down. Okay? That is how we show reverence to the kabaka. Matter of fact, one of the renditions of the word worship, I forget in which language, is to bow. Okay? So there's a certain picture of worship in that respect, or that reverence that is given to the kabaka, aka king, for the understanding of the rest of the world. Okay, so God will not be revealed where he's not revered, and you have to know how to express that reverence in worship, because that is where the Lord will be revealed. And if there is no worship going on, God will not be very interested in that location. So if you want to carry the presence of God, and if you want to experience the presence of God in your environment, in your worship, even in the privacy of your home, you can actually worship and experience the presence of God. I do that all the time. Okay? So that's one of the easiest access roads to the presence of God and to the heart of God. God is omnipresent. That is true. Okay? God is omnipresent. I am mindful of that. But you see, there's a presence of God that is passive. The kind of presence that people talk about on placards that I have seen in some houses, the silent listener to every conversation, the uninvited guest to every meal. I don't want that kind of presence. I would like a presence that is manifest. I would like a presence that solves problems. I would like a presence, for example, that brings healing with it, because he carries healing in his wings. I'd like a presence that releases the flow of healing. I'd like a presence that delivers people from bondage. I'd like a presence that creates a difference, that makes breakthroughs, that causes cases that have been lying in court for years to be heard and won. I want that kind of presence, a kind of presence where God speaks into the situations of your life. Okay? That is the kind of presence I'm talking about, and that is the kind of presence that we experience in the Worship Ministers Summit and the other worship meetings that we do, because of the revelation that we have of what worship is, why it is important, and how it should be done for it to be acceptable before God. You know how the Bible says you do not have because you do not ask, or you ask and you do not receive because you ask amiss. In the same way that it is possible for you to pray amiss, it is possible for you to worship amiss. And so the worship that should have brought a blessing to your life either brings nothing or it brings a curse instead. Because God likes to receive perfect sacrifices. And our worship is our gift. It is our sacrifice that we bring. Our praise and our worship is a sacrifice that we bring before God. And you can worship God through singing, yes, but a lot of other things that you do are acts of worship. The things you do to give God glory, whatever that is. Whatever that is. It is an act of worship. When you help other people in the name of the Lord, that is an act of worship in itself. When you do your work well because you don't want to disgrace the name of the Lord, that is your act of worship. If you do sound in church, you are worshiping. If you do lights, if you do projection of the lyrics during the worship service, if you clean the chairs before people come together to worship, that is your act of worship. And if you can do it with that inner posture, if you can do that with that spiritual posture, then you contribute to the experience of the worship that goes on in that sanctuary. There's a lot to teach and there's a lot to learn. But let's not get into the summit today. We're here for the HMK Live Series, the time of fresh music! Music and inspiration, ladies and gentlemen, is what we do at the HMK Live Series. Otherwise, I hope you are having a great time. Talk to me in the comments. What's happening where you are? What is good? What is the good news? Who has a birthday? Who has a wedding? Who just bought a house? I don't know what it is that's happening where you are. Just share something good that's happening where you are. If you have a scripture that is inspiring to you, you probably went to church in the morning. I am in that time zone where it is evening. I know in what are those other time zones? Probably EST. It is a little bit earlier. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. But welcome to the HMK Live Series. So share something with us, inspire somebody just before I get into the music. I have been thinking about many things. I always think about many things. I'm a thinker. But I've been thinking about love. How interesting is that? I have been thinking about love. And in my culture, where I come from, and really in many cultures here in Africa, especially Uganda, where I come from, in most of our cultures, we have many cultures in Uganda, okay? For those of you that are not from Uganda, you might wonder, what's that? We have very many cultures in Uganda, over 50, I believe. But in most or all of our cultures, when a man loves a woman, and they would like to marry that woman, they have to go to the parents of the girl, or the woman for that matter, and get introduced to the family of the prospective bride. And in doing that, they have to take gifts. Some cultures have dowry. They will tell you, we want this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. Some cultures will ask for heads of cattle. Okay, they'll say we want 5 bulls and 20 cows or something. Okay, in some cultures. In other cultures, they'll just let you bring gifts. Okay, and so the arrangements are made. The family of the prospective bride prepares to receive the man, and the man puts together money. In many cases, calls together friends to help him raise the money if they are not wealthy, to buy all of these things and take to the parents of the girl. And the introduction ceremony in my culture is called Kwanjula. And before that happens, there is a pre-Kwanjula visit that happens, which is smaller. Okay, so they have that visit, and then by that visit they express interest and they get acquainted with the elders of the family, and then they plan the big one, the introduction ceremony, also known as Kwanjula, or in some other cultures Kuhinjira and other names. Okay, and so they bring all of these gifts. They bring for the cultures that ask for cattle, they bring all of those animals, and they bring foodstuffs, and they bring utilities, household utilities, and they bring furniture. Sometimes some people give out, give cars and different kinds of things. And then a lot of things go on, and at the end of the Kwanjula ceremony, the man is figuratively born into the family of the girl, which means he can take the girl as a wife. Now, for the Christians, we normally have another event after that, a church wedding and that kind of thing. Different faiths have different ways they do it thereafter. But all of this happens after the girl has accepted or shown interest or readiness to marry the man. I'm saying this to say something. But imagine a situation where you are not even sure if the lady is going to say yes. You love this girl and you want to marry her, but you're not sure. You've not proposed and she has not said yes. But you just go ahead and buy gifts and buy animals and buy cars and get land titles and get all of these gifts and send them to the parents of the girl. Imagine a scenario like that. You're not sure what the girl's response is going to be. But you love the girl and you really hope she'll say yes. But you take the gifts, you even start doing the shopping for the wedding, and you pay the service providers, you pay the guys that are going to do the decoration, and the guys that are going to do that are going to drive you, and you pay for the wedding gown and the suits and the venue and the foodstuffs and all of those things. Before the lady has said yes. What did you think of such a man? Tell me. What did you think of? What did you think of such a man? Well, that is exactly what Jesus did. Think about it. That is exactly what Jesus did. He paid the ultimate price without any guarantee that we would love him back. And a whole lot of people don't. But he paid already. Think about it. It was for love that he hung on the cross. It was for love that he left heaven. It was for love that he lived like a poor man and yet he was God. Think about it. Oh, it was for you. And me, that is. Or should I say, and I? Tell your friends right now we're going to the music. Tell your friends we're going to the music. Are you ready now? Are you ready? Let them know, let them know, let them know, let them know. Going to the music, yeah. Yeah, for those of you that just joined us, it's the HMK Live Series this Sunday. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. East African time, I bring you fresh music and inspiration to jumpstart your weekend style. And we got started with a bit of a reminder that we have the Worship Minister Summit coming up on the 8th of October. The 7th Worship Minister Summit is happening on the 8th of October 2022. It's going to cost you only $20K to be a part of it. So we can have a really sumptuous meal together and then have great high voltage worship. Your life will be changed by the finger of God. I promise you that. You'll have an experience in worship you've not had anywhere. I guarantee you that. It's always beautiful when we get together and worship in one accord, especially when we worship with understanding. And the Worship Minister Summit is designed to bring understanding to every worshiper, so that we worship with understanding. And then you will see for yourself how much more power there is in your worship before anybody else does it for you or does it with you. 8th October. UCF Makerere is the venue. If you're not in Uganda, you can travel in. We can make arrangements for you. Just get in touch with us. Email School of Worship Africa. That's the email address. School of Worship Africa @gmail.com. School of Worship Africa @gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know you're interested in coming down, and we will let you know how you can be a part of this. So that's coming up, and I hope that you are ready for the music. I would like to sing a song for you that is a cover, really. A song about the love of Jesus. And that's why we worship, by the way. It's the understanding that he first loved us, and so we take the time to love him back. And as we get into this time, please hit the like button, and share with somebody if you haven't already. Just real quick, share the link so that somebody can join in, and we'll sing the song of worship together. The love of God is such that he paid all that he has to pay, all the bride wealth, all the bride price. He paid all of that stuff that he's supposed to pay for his bride, even before he was sure that we, the bride, the prospective bride, would be willing to accept him. So that is unbelievable. That is reckless. Somebody called it reckless, a reckless kind of love. God is not reckless, but the expression of his love sometimes comes off as such. And so I'd like to share this song with you, and I hope that it will be a blessing to you. All right, let's do it. Let me find it over here. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life. away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. How it chases me down, fine, still I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you gave yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Love of God, yeah, that's what it is. Woo, that's the love of God. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The love of God is amazing. The love of God is somewhat reckless. And that is all I had for you today. We will have more time to worship together at the Worship Minister Summit. I will have a full band. I will not be sitting here like this. I will have a full band. We'll have a choir. We will have a great, amazing guests. Pastor Isaac Serukenya is going to join me. That's one of my role models from way back when I was still a little boy. He's going to be with us. We're going to have, very amazing panelists answering any questions that you have about worship. And that's going to happen at the Worship Minister Summit on the 8th of October. Okay, so Pastor Isaac Serukenya is going to be with me. He's an amazing worship leader. If you've not seen him, look him up online, Isaac Serukenya. You'll see, what a blessing he is. Jean-Marie will also be joining me for the Worship Minister Summit. He's going to be one of my panelists as well. Okay, some people pronounce that name as John Mary. Okay, I know that he pronounces it as Jean-Marie. Okay, John Mary. Okay, depending on how you pronounce it in your own dialect. But yes, he's going to be with us. That is another amazing recording artist, producer, songwriter, worshiper, and all of that. He's a very gifted, relatively young man that will be a blessing to you. So we have people from the generation slightly older than me, and then I'll be there to represent my particular age group, and then there will be John Mary to represent the people that are a little bit younger, and so that we speak a language that everybody understands. At the Worship Minister Summit, we will have another surprise guest. I'm not telling you who that is today. It's for those that will be at the summit on that day, and perhaps afterwards, okay, that you'll get to know who was there. All right, otherwise, thank you for joining me for the worship, not for the Worship Minister Summit, for the Ham K Live series. People, you see, I'm already in October. I am already in October. Okay, please like and share. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Hit the notification button so that you know whenever we go live and whenever we have new stuff coming. I'm going to be sharing a few things in the course of these coming weeks. I'm going to be sharing a lot more information about the Worship Minister Summit and how you can be a part of it. Otherwise, in the meantime, you can send us an email, schoolofworshipafrica@gmail.com, or you can give us a call, 0780-338-348. That is the official ministry line that you can call if you'd like to support us in putting this particular event together. Please give. It's always a blessing. If my ministry is a blessing to you, it is only proper that you are a blessing to my ministry, okay? So give. We need money. We need money to hire lights. We need money to hire equipment, sound, and to facilitate the people that are working. We are paying for the venue. We are paying for everything we are using, okay? So give us some money so that we are able to put this meeting together. In addition to the 20,000 that we're going to spend on your food, okay, on your buffet. So please give 0780-338-348. That same number is on Airtel as well as 0700, and again the same number, 338-348. So please give so that we are able to prepare this and so that we have an excellent event. I'm inclined to end with a worship tone, even if it's very unusual, okay, here at the Hamk Live Series, but it is the spirit of worship as we head towards the Worship Ministers Summit. Let everybody know, whether they do sound, whether they do lights, whether they do projection, they sing in the choir, whatever it is they do in the worship service, let them know. Even pastors, this is especially important for pastors. If you're a pastor and you can make the time to be at the Worship Ministers Summit, please be there. Please be there. There are many things that pastors need to know about worshipers, and many things that worshipers need to know about pastors. So if we do the Worship Ministers Summit and we have pastors in the building, we get an opportunity to get some questions and some answers to that, along those two lines, those two different lines. The pastors will tell us the pastor things, and the worshipers will tell us the worshiper things, or the worship ministers, or worship leaders, or worship team members, or musicians, or instrumentalists. They will tell us their thing so that we have a complete understanding, a 360 understanding of what is going on in this worship situation that we are called to. So that's very, very important. And usually the lack of understanding on either side creates problems. I am both a pastor and a worship leader, okay? I am both a pastor and a worship leader, so I know those conversations. Sometimes they're very unfriendly. Okay, so pastors, if you can come out, please come. If you cannot come out, sponsor your worship team to come. 20,000 shillings, sponsor 10 of them. Take 200,000 shillings out of your ministry. Sponsor them to come. It will be a blessing to your ministry. It will be a blessing to your ministry that you have trained worshipers. That is all I want to say about the Worship Ministers Summit for today. Thank you for being with me today. Yeah. When I felt no word, you paid it all for me. You've been so kind to me, and oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down. If I still am found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. Coming after me. yourself a blessed week.